Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Overwatch Contenders South America Redux. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Overwatch Contenders South America. I am Boopasaurus here with Ham Tornado and a Scribe, and we are going to be your desk for what can arguably be our match of the day, which is Pain versus 2Kill. So there are a lot of things I need to just quickly go through in terms of playoff scenarios. So 2Kill wins, doesn't matter, map differential, right? Get your pens and papers out. This is going to be some math here, some quick math.
There will be a pop quiz.
Yes, so 2Kill wins. They will be the third seed regardless, right? Pain wins. Black Dragons beats Predators by a large map differential. Pain will be the 3 seed. Pain wins, and Black Dragons does not sweep Predators. Then Pain will be 4th. So this is a you win and you're in situation. The stakes could not be higher. These aren't rare stakes. These are well done stakes, folks. No. But now we're going to go ahead and talk about the teams here. And we're going to start with Pain. So, Scribe, something that you said earlier is their biggest enemy has nothing to do with their players or the teams that they've faced.
Yeah, honestly, their first 2 losses, their big 2 losses that kind of put them in this 1-3 position have arguably been because of internet issues. They just kind of had these walk-offs, like walkovers, because of it. So they're an extremely strong team. I still think they're one of the best teams in the region by far. The record doesn't reflect it as much, but I'm really excited to see how much they can prove here. I'm assuming that they're able to play their internet games or they're able to play their games consistently, but they have a strong DPS duo in Maurice and Leviathan, and I love to see Fasty and Shadowsong dominate the tank game.
Yeah, Fasty has shown an amazing improvement on D.Va. Again, 1-3 record. Fasty is definitely one of the most improved players on the team so far. And I agree with you. Leviathan needs to pop off here if they want an easy win against 2Kill. Ham, Spider Agony comes out of retirement. They get a free win against Isurus, which is the reason why they are available to be in the playoffs right now, right? They are in contention because of that forfeited win. Right now, they got to prove, hey, we might have stolen that win a bit, right? Because we know Isurus has won 16 maps in a row at this point, right? So what do they need to do to, one, prove themselves to us and take the victory against Pain?
Yeah, Pain going up against Pain Gaming, as Scribe alluded to, this is a team that has all the correct parts. You've got Fasty and Maurice from Black Dragons. You have Leviathan from Isurus. All of these really great individual players. There's also, the environment that kind of didn't allow them to sync those up together. 2Kill, on the other hand, seemed to have potentially, not really any standout players up until the last set that we saw them play in. Spider Agony popped off. I had been looking for a reason to yell, "Oh, the agony!" the entire time, and he gave it to us, absolutely helping to carry his team. And we need to see a repeat performance from this player if 2Kill are to make it off into playoffs. A consideration, though, is he has lost his DPS partner. Darken2K has left the team, and Debut and Sculp have joined now. So how the team will be looking to integrate these new players with Spider Agony is what's going to be the big question for me, because Shirazu, Prevail, they play, a solid tank game. And as long as they're providing resources for Spider Agony to pop off once again, I think they should be fine.
So, Scribe, who's taking this?
I mean, I got to go with Pain Gaming here. All statistics aside, all records aside, Pain Gaming is still the favorites here. I still think they're a top 4 team, and this is their opportunity to prove it to us. I'm saying Pain Gaming 3-1 here.
Ooh, Pain Gaming 3-1. I think I'm going to agree with you, but I actually think this is going to be 4-0 for Pain. So let's see, Ham. What are you going to say?
Stole it from me, Boop. I was going to say a 4-0. Spider Agony, there's for 2K, for 2Kill, there's a lot of ifs on the table. If this player pops off, if the DPS synergy will be there, I also think 4-0 Pain Gaming.
Well, I have some well-done steak with ketchup to go to and eat very, very well-done steak. But the stakes are high here, and I couldn't find a better duo to show off this match than Lemon and Lafon. I'm so excited for what you guys are going to bring to the table, what Pain and 2Kill are going to bring to the table in this elimination game. Levin and Lafon, take it away.
You talk about elimination game, but this is also a playoff game. The winner will get to go to playoffs. The loser stays home and watches, which is an unfortunate scenario, but it's tons of Overwatch action coming up. But we're going to Lijiang Tower, and LaFine, I gotta hear your prediction here. Game in 2Kill. Yes, 2Kill hasn't had a win since their forfeit win versus Istris, but they have some roster changes, so there's maybe a real chance here.
I mean, the strangest thing about this matchup is that realistically, we've only seen one team play. Pain has been the one we kind of have to keep an eye out for here. 2Kill, the storylines around them have been pretty well set. I think one of the interesting things is Lijiang Tower. It's been a map we've seen a lot of here in Contenders South America. It's a map that is very dependent on which map you get first, right? If you get that sort of control center, you put yourself on the starting line with a tank composition, you move to the rest of the maps and kind of go dive from there. You get an opportunity to really work around it. So I'm kind of interested to see how we even just start the map off and how that will kind of dictate how the series goes on from there.
And you gotta take a look at the Pharah play. That's gonna be a big hero to depend on, especially coming into Lijiang Tower, where Leviathan is I think one of the better Pharahs in South America. As we load into our map, it looks like it won't be the case. It's gonna be the Widow Tracer battle that will go on.
Widow Tracer is interesting here because we kind of usually see Pharah on Gardens, but the fact that we're seeing a lot more Tracer is interesting in itself. Familiarity breeds winning, I guess, in this case, but we're going to try and see what happens. 2Kill Gaming, as they engage early on, Lemon, this fight could go anywhere.
Pain Gaming, though, running that Brigida, that's a lot more stun that you can sort of disable the tanks from 2Kill when they do go for a dive. And as you can see, Prevail on the Tracer, just trying to aggress onto these supports, but with the Brigida on the other side here from Killer, he has to be so careful with his movements. 2 down for 2Kill. Pain Gaming in full control of this fight.
Yeah, and Killer doing what Brigitte does very well. It takes Tracer out of the fight entirely, and if you're not playing around that particular hero, you're not going to have a good time, and we see that with the fact that already doing a great job of zoning it out. So Bane Gaming will get the first initiation, and Fasty has quietly done a lot of damage in that last fight, already up to 85% on that self-destruct. So the D.Va doing a lot of work in, as Prevail will switch to the Pharah.
Onto the Pharah, and Spider Agony is now the off tank. So this is a lot of changes coming in from 2Kill. They initiate their dive. It looks like a bit of a separation. Prevail, though, adding some support from the sky. Self-destruct here from Pain Gaming towards the back, but sent a little too far. But revive here, it's Killer back into the fight. Pain Gaming still in control of this fight. They've separated the tanks of 2Kill. But how much support here can Prevail add here on coming in through an angle? Allows Debut to hop out of there, but with the tank sort of wounded here from 2Kill. Spider Agony about to lose the mech. Debut no longer alive as the Widowmaker. Pain now have ultimates, and now even more objective time to work with.
Fasty hasn't been demeched yet. Realistically, they're going to get another kill. Leviathan will pick up Prevail as he picks up the Fire Mercy combination there. So Pain Gaming are aggressively in the driver's seat here. A couple of follow-up kills at the end there. Not really a whole lot to finish it up, though, as it's going to be the Resurrect right back in. Infrasight will be committed, and Spider Agony way out in front of the team as they look to engage.
2Kill have Infrasight. They know where everything is. They've already dragged out the Resurrect, so Prevail getting that first pick is huge. And now a barrage is dropped right where Transcendence to keep actually Prevail alive. So now a Primal Rage from Pain, along with a rally, is just going to seal off the point. 2Kill have the picks, but they've had a hard time flipping this point in their favor. They have their Pharah at the top of the point, adding pressure from all angles. You can see Shadow Song on fire. A dominant tank here for Pain Gaming has now disabled the enemy tanks of 2Kill. 91% and growing. 2Kill cannot afford to lose any members. Spider Agony with the self-destruct starts to clear the point, gets his mech back, and loses it just as quickly. But now with their main healer gone, rank drops 99% to Pain Gaming, just cleaning up the remaining members of 2Kill. And LaFana didn't expect this much of a gap between the two teams, but Pain looks like they're about to walk away with 100-0.
100-0, the overtime is going to tick away as the self-destruct is just going to zone out anyone else who might even have a dream of getting back in. There aren't any, but always play for the end. It is going to be Pain Gaming taking the first one. 2Kill Gaming, though, this round was really confusing. The D.Va play on 2Kill's side was kind of suspect. Spider Agony wasn't really where he needed to be. The Matrixes weren't keeping anyone up. Shadow Song was really not being pressured, so your D.Va has to make a choice. Are we going to be aggressive? Are we going to be defensive? And Spider Spider Agony genuinely just did neither. And so Pain Game were able to engage and disengage at will. And the D.Va play here has been the difference between these two teams, because I think on the rest of it, they're actually about evenly matched.
And another difference is Killer on this Brigida. This forced 2kill to get off with a Tracer, and I just think this has been a huge dent in 2kill's front line, along with the fact that Spider Agony's playing a role that he's not used to. This is probably why that his D.Va plays are suspect to you. But as we go onto Night Market, Rank is completely abandoned. Somehow actually did not survive that. But meanwhile, both Mercies are out, so it's still an even trade, still a winnable fight for either team. As Pain looks like they've rotated now towards the point. Spider Agony getting chased from behind from Fasty is going to get demeched, and Pain have wounded the forces of 2kill, and we'll get the first cap here again.
I think if I'm 2kill gaming, what you need to do here is to mitigate the amount of damage you can take here. Yeah, sure, your D.Va might not be comfortable with the play, and they're still going to keep the fight going. The point will tick over, Lemon, but again, they're trying to switch it right back into the fight.
2 picks for Debu, though, making his debut on this team. He's actually been keeping up fairly well with Leviathan Sniper on the previous map, and now will be set to pressure Leviathan on Pharah, who's been just focusing a lot more onto the point. You can see here, Debu looking for the shot, goes for the Mercy, but the job is taken care of from the rest of his teammates. 2kill, want the recap. Killer comes from behind, and this is engagement after engagement. No real reset from any team, but the team that benefits from this is Pain, as Killer now will finish off the D.Va, but a Primal Rage almost sets him off the map. Thankfully, he's in a corner, but the health pool won't last too long. This is utter chaos from either team. Even a self-destruct used from 2kill, trying to create space, trying to get the mech back. And now that the supports are back from 2kill, this might allow them to get an advantage. But LaFon, it's already another fight.
I mean, in this case here, the fights can go back and forth. We kind of see the brawl continuing out here, Lemon, and as 2kill finally are bringing a couple more kills in, Shadow Song picks up one. I don't know. They're going to keep this fight going as long as possible.
And at least they get that kill onto Wings, and Killer, unfortunately, with the solo rally, not enough. But at least you don't want to use a rally to stall at a point. I mean, preferentially, but 2kill do get the recap they need. But God, was that sort of chaos reset? No real reset from any team.
I mean, realistically, Pain Gaming lost the first fight and then just captured the point anyway. And then they continue to lose fights out, and so they just kept staggering away. So realistically, they got 58% for free. So they're going to try and engage here and win their first fight of the game.
Pain Gaming decide to keep their focus onto Debu. This has been a really big threat here for 2kill. Meanwhile, Leviathan has gotten an angle and couldn't finish that kill off to prevail. And now you can see the reaction from 2kill. It's been really a focus on the Widowmakers as 2kill have the point in their favor. Finally, you get some shots of the Leviathan. This has been an important switch for Pain Gaming. And the dives have been pressuring the backlines of either team. But 2kill, you can see the kill feed is all for them, and they will hold for now.
I think Killer needs to get off this, but they're not doing a whole lot with it. There's nothing really to shut down. They're not really going after tanks. Pain is playing super spread out, as is 2kill. And so the break just doesn't get that chain CC kind of thing that you kind of need from her to be effective. So Prevail will do so much damage in the air as to try and engage here on the point. But these scrappy, messy fights will continue.
Sound barrier here used from Pain, and now swatching to a Brigida Lucio. It's almost like a dive goat's coming on. A Transcendence used from 2kill. A lot of resources being invested. Mainly rank goes down while there was a Transcendence, so 2kill now have a lot of healing gone. This allowed the Primal Rage from Shadow Song to truly flourish, and maybe a self-destruct from Fasty could even clear out the point even more. Wants to focus on disabling Prevail. That's an automatic death for him to barrage there without the backup of Spider Agony, who is now just being chased away as the final cleanup.
They do get it to 95% or so before the tick will go over, so they will get that last fight territory for themselves here as Debu picks up a last final blow, but will be rather irrelevant as Fasty will chase him away. That said, Pain Gaming now set themselves up for success. 2kill. They're switching over a couple things. Rank off to the Moira. They're going to go to that modified goats composition, I like to call it, as Shadow Song playing a really aggro position here.
Goats coming in from 2kill. They have the rally. They're chasing after the tanks mainly. Prevail now into the Brigida. This is an important swap to take care of the enemy Brigida, stunning her. I mean, hopefully after she stuns you. Self-destruct sent right to the middle. Can she get prevented from getting back into mech? And meanwhile, Debu is taking care of the supports. Wings being out is going to be a big crutch here for Pain, as 2kill at 99% could send us into a map 3. And can we believe it? They like to make this close, and they got the final cleanup. Pain Gaming want to engage once more. Stunned out of engage. And we're going into a third map, Lafon.
We're going to Control Center, actually, and that's going to be that tank map that we kind of expect to see. And 2Kill has looked stronger when they're running that tank composition. Pain Gaming, a little bit of a strange setup. They realistically win no fights on that second point. Kind of brawl their way to about a 60% mark. And 2Kill are the advantage in percentage as a result. I'm not really sure how to best describe that last point because it was very, very scrappy. We had essentially 2 or 3 fights across the entirety of the round. So I think Pain Gaming has to be a little bit cleaner in how they execute. We are going to be going to a tank composition, as I mentioned, but Farah is going to be in play, as well as the Hanzo. So both these teams mirroring themselves, and expect nothing less indeed, Lemon. The fight will commence here on Control Center through the main area.
Just initial Lucio boost, but not actually surviving at least the initial break. And now both teams setting up their tank line. It's going to be up to the Reinhardts of Xiaozu and Shadowsong to really put their foot down. Whoever shield breaks is really going to be giving his team a disadvantage. And somehow Prevail wins the fair duel. It's a 1-to-1 trade. It's 1 tank down also for Pain Gaming. 2Kill in a good position, especially if they get this Resurrect off of Happy. But you can see now Pain Gaming really starting to retract their push because they spent so much time protecting that Resurrect from going through. And the only person on fire from 2Kill is actually Raul on the Zenyatta. It's not something you see too often.
I mean, I want to call out something here, is that Leviathan, someone we've hyped up a lot here on the broadcast, has had a really weak showing so far. Has done basically nothing. Raul is going to pick up wings there to stuff that push. And the DPS right now for 2Kill have been very, very effective. They're going to get the Resurrect there, but it's going to be a slowed push nonetheless, Lemon, as they try and engage. But they're engaging into a crossfire that really is so tough to break through.
And 2Kill now just use the Valkyrie. They're about to get grabbed. They're waiting for Spider Agony and Debut to use this, or even Prevail. He's at a really good angle. Now the grab is dropped. Not going to be a moment for Barrage, but it's a moment for a Dragon Strike to clear the way. And actually a Farage. It's a Barrage from Prevail that also gets combined into this. A huge investment from 2Kill. And now that they've lost Debut, they've lost Prevail. This is actually a winnable fight for Pain.
Now, they're going to commit the Graviton on the 2 damage dealers. That's an excellent choice there. Going after the Zen in the very back as the Transcendence is forced out. Again, 2Kill has the point, so they are going to try and stall this out as long as possible, but it won't be enough as it's just the Zenyatta. No one else to really contest, and with that, it's going to be a turnover there. That fight took a long time in the making, but it was a great read from Pain at the end. And that combination of 3 ultimates has to get more than 2 kills. And then on top of that, a Resurrect should not be able to bring 1 back. So that was an inefficient use of ultimate combinations by 2Kill. And I'm not sure what happened, but Rank needed to be a little bit faster on the damage amp on the Dragon Strike to get the kill through. Again, remember, on this particular patch here in Contenders, they do have Dragon Strike able to be boosted with that with damage boosting abilities. So that is something in play. As 2Kill try and walk in.
Oh, Barrage coming from the top. Leviathan taking out Shao. So actually both tanks from 2Kill are missing. Even one of the supports. This is a quick reset, and Pain Gaming should be able to make up for the scoreline.
And that's a much better, I mean, 1 ultimate to win you a fight. Leviathan is more than happy with that Barrage. You get 2 kills, they have to walk out. And on top of that, you have next fight, you still have that Earth Shatter. There's a lot to work with here for Pain Gaming as 2Kill tries to re-engage.
Oh, Pain Gaming about to set up this combo, only 25% away from the grab, and even an Earth Shatter, a really nice one from Shadowsong. You can see he's setting up at the angle. He's trying to catch this enemy tank off guard, waiting for the shield to break, not finding an opportunity for the Shatter. Still warding off 2Kill. This is building objective time, swinging away, drops it down, but it's the Zarya bubble that saves the day, and a nice Fire Strike to finish off the middle line, now taking out the damage dealers. And even you got Pain Gaming support players really going ham into this fight. They will reach close to 90% before 2Kill are ready to engage.
And Prevail has switched off the Farah and the McCree respectively. He wants to go to the Tracer. They do need that last minute contest. We are in last fight territory here on this map, so Lijiang Tower about to be completed at some point here. As Prevail playing around this flank, and they're trying to walk in. They do have the Earth Shatter and the Dragon Strike, so they do have ultimates coming online, but 2Kill are up against the wall.
Oh, the grab is launched. Dragon Strike combined with it, and Raul uses the Transcendence, though it's not enough. 99%. It is overtime for Pain. The last map on Lijiang. 2Kill trickling in with every sweat and drop of blood that they have. possibly another touch from a Tracer player probably prevailed. There he is. And actually, oh my goodness, Shadow Song with a bit of a flashy play with the shatter. It will end here. Pain Gaming taking our first map.
Pain do a great job at the close there to really solidify their situation. Again, with Graviton Surge, they put they throw the Grav out, capture them. There's no way to really contest. You're put in absolute, it's just a mess in terms of how they actually engage. And you're going to see that quick play of the game as Lijiang Tower will complete. And I mean, a Graviton Surge should get at least 3 kills if it captures as many as they have so far here today. They need to be doing a better job of showing just finishing off the final blows. It has been really unfortunate, but 2Kill has not done a great job of converting on their ultimate usage, and so far it has cost them a map. So 2Kill down 1-0 in this series. And again, there's a lot riding on this series. The win and you're in, lose and you're out. You need to win here, and Pain have put themselves up in a position of advantage.
And 2Kill, I mean, they used 6 ultimates in a fight and they lost it. It's execution. I don't even think it's coming up to skill or compositions. It's so down to your ultimate usage. And you've pointed it out right that Pain Gaming have been a lot more effective with their Graviton Dragon Strike combinations. And 2Kill on Lijiang had actually won this versus Hephaestus. They have potential on control maps. Now going into, I believe it's a hybrid map coming up. 2Kill had actually lost King's Road to Hephaestus, and even Pain Gaming are on a bit of a down streak. They just came off a 4 loss from Isurus, coming off of a loss from Predators, which was more due to connection issues. So both these teams trying to make up for how their season went.
I mean, a 4-0 against Isurus isn't particularly special, as Isurus has done that all season long, minus, I guess they have had a 4-0 scoreline in every single one of their matches, so Isurus is a bit of a special case there, but for sure, I mean, this is their opportunity. You need, I mean, not to put too fine a point on it, but for both teams, you need a victory here. Going up 2-0 at the break puts you in a really solid position to take the series, and you don't want to go to the break down 2-0 if you're on the other side. If 2Kill really doesn't want to be in that situation, you want to have that 1-1 draw, so you come back in and you try and, set up for a victory of your own. These teams are fairly evenly matched, and as you mentioned, 6 ultimates in a fight is not actually the case what you want to end up losing. So I think the difference here is, as you mentioned, not skill-based. It is, in fact, entirely in terms of execution. While I think there's some differences in terms of how they're executing in the timing, you need to be a little bit better in just sheer communication at the very least. I mean, these are teams at the Contenders level. They're trying to get into playoffs. I kind of expect a level here where the Dragon Strike is going to be damage boosted into a Graviton Surge to get the kills. There has to be a better rotation there, and I think on 2Kill's side, it's simple things that'll put them over the edge. Pain Gaming themselves have not been very, very clean, and they need to be a little bit cleaner and tighter in how they actually run through whatever comps they're running, whether that be tanks or dive. They haven't really shown that they're able to really take it in and be confident in how they're going, which they will need to do through the later stages of this match.
King's Row will be decided for our map number 2, and 2Kill, I mean, this exact map, they have lost to Hephaestus. Now, can they put up a number against Pain Gaming and make this hopefully an even series going into the half? This would be the best position they could be in. And now with who is a debut joining the roster, he's really been impressing me. This is the first time I've been seeing him. Of course, I don't pay a lot of attention to South American contenders, but Debut has been a name I haven't heard of, and now he's really showing up. He's really pressuring a big name like Leviathan on the other side, forcing him to go Widowmaker because of just his sheer presence. You saw Debut on the kill feed time and time again, and I want him to have that same effect going into King's Row.
They have the opportunity, right? I mean, we talk about just which are the most impactful roles in South American setups. I mean, other regions we often talk about, the off tank position or the main tank position and so on. But I think here in South America, the best teams have the best DPS and they have the best main tank. So in this case, it's going to be a case of can the head-to-head matchup here, and I think we would have given the edge before today to Pain. I think today, though, 2Kill has shown that they are a little bit better in that position, at least so far. And I think one thing that has definitely not been up to snuff, though, in that head-to-head matchup in the terms of the player versus their role has been the off tank. So 2Kill, they need to be a little bit smarter in how they execute and put Spider Agony in a position to succeed, because right now, map 1 definitely did not happen that way. So Spider Agony will be off the D.Va to start with. That is definitely someone to keep an eye on through the stages of this map.
Yeah, I'd love to see Spider Agony really protect Xiaozu and the rest of his DPS. And the Graviton Dragon Strike, so important here on King's Road. Double Sniper starting out for 2-kill. Pain Gaming coming out with Goats. Now going to be Lucio speed boosted towards the left side, and Hotel coming up from behind. Now they have their stance here onto the point. They decide to leave it. They're more concerned with finishing off the kills. And Debut, meanwhile, has been set up uncontested on this high ground. Finally, Fasty's going to react, takes him off from that high ground. And you got Leviathan making work. But meanwhile, Pain Gaming have at least acquired a tick here.
They're going to acquire a tick, and they're going to acquire a little bit more, actually. It's going to be almost at second point as the defense will finally come in to clean up, but it's going to be a very expensive fight, and 2-kill sets up very strangely on the low ground, putting themselves in a really awkward position. And though it kind of works, it's going to be messy in how they manage to finish out the fight, as Raul will go down at the last. So there is an opportunity of attack here, as Pain will switch up and try and set up their attack run now for the second time.
And Shadow, Shadow, blah. Words, Earth Shatter already all online for Xiaozu, but it's a Dragon Strike from the top. It seals off the point only temporarily, and Fasty actually got hit with the Earth Shatter, which allowed him to take the bulk of that damage. Meanwhile, a rally from the side of Pain Gaming. They've gotten their second tick here, but have they actually won the fight this time? It looked like the opposite had happened once they established themselves on the point. They pushed off 2-kill, only now have staggered the supports, and they'll unlock the payload here.
I mean, this is something 2-kill has been doing super strangely, and they've done it back-to-back fights, so I assume it's intentional. They're setting up their tanks in a really offensive, or a really passive position on the point. I don't know if it's like to create a little bit of pressure and to have the rotation happen that way, if maybe they're uncomfortable with their tanks moving around the high ground. They are, of course, moving that Rein Zarya, so not really the most mobile of heroes. That said, Pain Gaming just isolate the tanks and are able to kind of situate themselves in a place where the tanks are just unable to really get any sort of support from, from Rank or Raul, and that's going to be the point unlocked. And they kind of just set up now for a street space fight with a Pharah.
Self-destruct over the top. Who doesn't find? Xiaozu gets a shield up. Somehow Rank and Debut, I have no idea where they were, but they got caught out from that. That's a one fight only using a self-destruct. And this is while 2 Gravitons were online. So Pain Gaming love to take a fight that way.
I mean, if your Pharah, if your Mercy and Hanzo get caught out like that, not your Pharah, you are going to lose a point, especially when you walk right back in and play aggressively, having used nothing but a self-destruct. So Pain, what was a kind of a weird first point turns into a clean second point, and now they put themselves with 5 minutes on the clock here into third, a ridiculous amount of time, and Graviton Surge is going to be committed right away.
From the offensive team as well, and now you got the Coalescence feeding damage into that. Is it enough? Taking out Rank is already a one fight. It forces the Transcendence there from Rao to keep the rest of the team up. But now the tanks are still alive from 2-kill. They can make this an interesting fight, not with Spider Agony out of position. Pain Gaming all on fire. 5 minutes left, and they're about to finish King's Row with a fantastic performance.
I hate ragging on players too much because I feel like it's unfair, but it's as the setup continues here now for the defense, Spider Agony has not had good showing on this tank position. So Sombra to contest. This last fight is definitely underway here.
A little bit of a somber play going after the Diva, but focusing the fire onto the supports. And meanwhile, you forgot to touch the payload. So this all matters absolutely nothing when you don't have the objective pressure. I like the idea of the Sombra. You know the tanks on the other team are the biggest problem, but overall, you've hit it right on the head. That 2-kill all around are in a mess when in terms of their synergy, but you got to remember all of there's differences in rules. You got a new player debut and actually Wall as well. 2-kill have these roster changes. They made these to desperately try and get a win in this series, and it might take some time, maybe more throughout the series. We'll see them warm up and get better at their communication.
I think this is one of the strangest matchups to watch because realistically across now like 2 different maps rather, we have had perhaps a grand total of like 10 fights. So that was 3 stages on Lijiang. That was a whole round on King's Row. And we've had maybe 10 fights, if I'm being generous. So it's been a really awkward engagement from both teams consistently. So I think here, 2-kill, they need to be a little bit more decisive when they're engaging. And they've really not done a great job of that. So, they're going to need to execute. Again, I keep coming with this term, execution. It's tough to really keep harping on this point because realistically their tank line has not been where they need to be.
That is true. I really feel for 2-kill Xiaozu. I mean, communicating with maybe someone who's not experienced in an off tank. I don't want to say Prevail actually had more off tank time like outside of Contenders, but we will see if they can make up for it as time goes on. And not really any stop to Pain Gaming's push besides the one fight that 2Kill won at the start. But Pain Gaming will be on the defense. 4 minutes and 30 is the time bank that 2Kill have to beat. At least finishing the map would be an accomplishment, I believe. But coming out the doors is the double sniper death ball from 2Kill. Pain Gaming relying on the Hanzo and Junkrat from Killer.
I mean, again, this is something that some of the teams in this group have liked to do, the Rein Zarya on point rather than the Orisa Diva on the high ground. So that's definitely a difference of styles. As they're going to play the brawl out here. It's a really aggressive early play from the tank line from the offense.
And where are the DPS? And this is what matters, how your crossfire is set up here from the snipers. You can see Prevail and Debu on this high ground. And Pain Gaming now taking a lot of damage, so they decide to back off. This is objective time being earned from 2Kill as Leviathan finishes off the enemy Hanzo. Now he can just only pressure the shields and the tanks here from 2Kill. Getting closer and closer to the Dragon Strike. 3 minutes left. 2Kill at least walk away with 2 ticks. They're happy with that, and they're ready to engage again. Just have to keep an eye on their flank. That was Killer coming in with the Junkrat.
I mean, again, they're going to give up some free space. The contest will finally come through, and Valkyrie will be committed. Another fight basically underway immediately after.
It's a tough one, and only ultimates coming online. Dragon Strike from Leviathan. When is he going to use it to seal it off? And it's right now. Great timing. Transcendence doesn't save the Reinhardt. It could save the Zarya. Now trying to go after Leviathan. Great finish there as a responding Dragon Strike this time from the defense. Has absolutely no effect at keeping 2Kill from getting that objective time, as a Riptire from Killer finds rank, but just really getting him a very close spawn to the payload.
They're going to take that point, but I don't think Pain particularly cares. Again, they have 4 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock for their full run, and 2Kill now have a monstrous showing through Street Space to go through. They do capture with a lot of time left, but now an opportunity here to set up, and they're not going to get that spawn camp that they want. So a couple of switches over, and 2Kill now set up ideally a pretty aggressive play with his Graviton.
Well, this could favor here 2Kill with the Pharah versus Brigitte that you just mentioned. The Graviton, though, finishes off 2Kill, gets them off of the payload. Now, Pain Gaming in a fantastic position on their defense to hold choke.
They're going to just take a really clean fight. I mean, Graviton Surge is committed. They walk in, they just swing away at it. I don't think they use anything else. They don't use... I mean, like, what can you say? They just swing away. There's no support ultimates online. Raul had to use the Transcendence in the previous fight, so it's a free fight win. And 2Kill now put themselves in a situation where they actually have to execute with a Graviton Surge.
Another Graviton comes out, this time from Fasty. Xiaozu finishing it off, but the Transcendence keeps them up. The Earth Shatter to help even more crowd control now that the Graviton has failed them. And meanwhile, Pain Gaming, it's actually no Prevail getting the 2Kill. Now, 2 kills, haha, punny, but this is utter chaos from both these teams. 2Kill, though, manage to win that one, and now some swaps coming in from Pain.
Pain are, yeah, I mean, you lost that fight pretty handily. Again, though, they did force the Earth Shatter out. They did use the Graviton Surge as well, and so 2Kill now continue their movement forwards. It is going to be now the second fight here on second, so it is a lot of room to work with. Pain Gaming, though, no ultimates with which to speak. 2Kill have a little bit to work with in that regard.
Well, they go to engage again. Shadow Song on fire, the main tank, but he walks right into a Dragon Strike from Prevail. And now you got Debu using the barrage, zones off the rest of the payload. Now, still 2 members left of Pain Gaming to clean up. 2Kill in a very winnable fight. But are they? Spider Agony, full energy. His Reinhardt just lost his shield, and now 2Kill are disengaging.
Again, it's strange here. The Rhine goes down, and now Leviathan with the armor, with the rally, is going to go and chase that fight all the way through. That was a fight that should have been won yet again. We've said this before, but 2Kill, they play so passively when they have the advantage. It's questionable in this case, and Leviathan, the beneficiary of that passivity, it's going to walk in, just hit a couple of shots, and they've won the fight. I mean, Pain Gaming, they have an ultimate disadvantage in every sense of the word. The ultimates were all used by 2Kill, and Pain Gaming actually are the one to win the fight. So, 2Kill now, they've had a lot of time taken off the clock.
Well, 2kill goes for the... Oh my god, it's utter chaos. There's 12 people on my screen, but who survives is not Killer. He gets pinned to another dimension, opens it up for the Earth Shatter. Dragon Strike does cut off Xiaozu from the rest of the team, just as to put his shield up as another Dragon Strike now comes through the other end. Prevail a lot more successful with that one. Even Rank getting some with the Valkyrie Mercy pistols. But the payload will move into point B, and Pain Gaming, I don't think they have time to engage one more time, so they're going to set up for point C.
They use their ultimates there and then get no value from it. 2kill uses a couple more and actually finally turns the fight around in their favor, so they work there. They're immediately at a time disadvantage, though. It's only 3 minutes remaining. Only 3 minutes remaining, and they do have to complete the map again, so Pain are trying to stagger this one out as long as possible. And they're going to get a very early fight here on third.
Basti waiting for the self-destruct, could send it towards the back. Not really much to do, but actually Debut with a nice barrage, at least getting Shadow Song. No, not really any room to resurrect that one. And actually, they're not even running a Mercy anymore. The Lucio Zenyatta comes out from Pain Gaming. Now they'll establish themselves here onto the payload, and now the Resurrect goes through from Debut. 2kill, trying to find a good position here onto the payload, but the pressure from Pain Gaming is making it impossible to make any distance. With the DMAC on the Fasty, the kill onto Killer, 2kill have got some room to breathe.
Pain, yeah, they're going to set up for a reset now. They do have their support ultimates coming online soon, the Transcendence as well as the Rally, as well as the Dragon Strike, so they do have some tools with which to work, but no, Leviathan finally gets picked off somehow, not really showing enough respect, and Prevail will take the advantage in that one, and the fight commences yet again.
Oh, the Rally comes in, the speed boost from Pain Gaming, and the dive from Fasty to ward off the Sniper. Prevail still gets the Dragon Strike. It's Dragon Central. And the Transcendence, though, keeps 2kill up, but now it's a Graviton that traps Pain Gaming. 2kill just need to push this payload a few more meters, but down already 3 minutes in the time bank. What a disadvantage they are in coming into the future fights that we will have, but it's actually Pain Gaming that went out this fight. Can 2kill even finish the map is the question now.
A minute 42, a minute 32 actually. 10 seconds had passed, and it's going to be, again, they only have the Pharah ultimate, that barrage with which to work. Everything else is unavailable, and Pain have a little bit more coming in the bank. They have the sound barrier, they're having the self-destruct very shortly, so 2kill, definitely a wall with which to work.
And Killer now swapping to the Brigida to the Widow. 2 snipers that Debut has to deal with. And already picking off Spider Agony, almost gets the shots onto Rank on the Mercy. And this is already a one fight for Pain Gaming with realistically only using a sound barrier.
Yeah, I mean, offensive sound barrier, they're gonna get the stagger out here on Prevail, and ooh, that's not pleasant. And there he goes. Yeah, so they use the sound barrier very offensively. They basically run at 2kill, and 2kill unable to really react in time. There is a Resurrect available here, as Prevail will be brought back in, so they do have numbers advantage temporarily. But self-destruct is available, and not really a whole lot else.
Yeah, Transcendence though, and you got an Earth Shatter from Shadow Song looking forward. Could he nail the Earth Shatter? He actually pins him, takes out the shield. This allows a double kill. What an amazing play we just witnessed from Shadow Song. Big brains, big IQ. I'm loving it. 20 seconds left, LaFon.
20 seconds, no matter what happens here, even if they do finish the match, it's not going to be with any time remaining, so they are going to be playing essentially for a draw. Again, though, they have to complete that map, and Prevail nearly DMAC, does get DMAC. The Dragon Strike is there to zone them all away. Transcendence committed just a touch cart here.
Oh, Shadow Song coming from behind with the Shatter now leads them even quicker to the payload, but the Transcendence here from Pain Gaming might keep them up, but they need to establish their front line. Leviathan is way too far forward out of position, has to get behind Shadow Song's shield, somehow is still surviving as a Dragon Strike from 2kill, trying to create some space. Shadow Song decides to go back now that he's missing his main tank Fasty. Bit of a rough situation going on for Pain Gaming. They want one last hurrah. It's overtime. 2kill cannot afford to lose any members. They want to make this an even series going into the half, and this starts by finishing the map. As now you can see the aggression coming in. They're waiting for Spider Agony's Graviton. This could be the finishing blow. Where are Pain Gaming? They're not even contesting the payload.
They had overtime spawns, so that timer is so very long, and Happy gets bursted down instantly as soon as he reaches the payload, so that is going to be the full map capture, but again, they captured in overtime. And Pain, on the other hand, had 4 minutes and 30 seconds, so now we go to Pain Gaming's attack run for the second time, and they have 4.5 minutes with which to capture 1/3 of a point. And considering that you start off King's Row with 4 minutes, that's not really that much to speak of.
4.5 minutes though? That's so much time. Like, I have to disagree. Like, this should be pretty easy to do. Depends what they go with, and they want to go with clean. Words are hard. Clean fight win, and this is going to do it with the goats. It's a very early fight winner, and even with the resources, you can make this into a long one. You sacrifice the damage, but you get more resources, and 2Kill actually coming out with the same exact thing. So it's going to be exactly about execution, which we've talked about 2Kill lacking in that department.
Not to be too harsh, but on the in the lacking department for 2Kill specifically, the list is pretty long in this particular setup. They're going to run goats here on defense, and hopefully it works for them, but Pain has run the Pharah to begin with, and that aerial superiority is definitely going to be in play in this fight. So Pain Gaming now set themselves up for a 2-0 lead to get into the half, and they have all the tools to work with here.
This will be a great counter to 2Kill's goats, but they're hiding in Hotel, actually. When are they engaging? They're clearly known, you know, your position is revealed. Okay, now we're gonna go, guys. Lucia speed boost. Zaozu misses the pin, though, but they push Pain Gaming back. Now, the rotation here is what's important. Getting out of line of sight from Leviathan, getting out of line of sight of Killer, but Killer's already down, so 2Kill now just have to keep their front line alive.
I mean, the resurrect happens right back in, and they do get the DMX, so there's even more contest gone. So Leviathan almost with that barrage, and he has so much room to which to work. Well, I mean, this fight could very quickly end in Pain Gaming's favor.
2Kill are doing a pretty good job, though, of staying under cover, like going inside of buildings, not making Leviathan as effective as they would have liked. They chase after the tanks, they get the picks. It looks like Leviathan can't really do much about that.
Leviathan, yeah, he can't do much about it, but he's just waiting for his team to respawn so they can get a fight going. Again, a minute taken off the clock here, 3.5 left to go. And 2Kill Gaming, they don't have ultimates. Leviathan with that barrage, perhaps trying to make an adventure of it.
Oh, there's a barrage right over the top, and that takes out Rank, who had just, I think, just used the Coalescence. And Prevail also goes down. That's two major healers out for 2Kill. This should be a winnable fight here for Pain Gaming. Killer going for the finishing blow, even has the Dragon Strike just for fun, launches it down the lane, completely making it impossible for 2Kill to come back. Pain Gaming get the 33% they need to go 2-0 going into the halftime.
The Earth Shatter at the very end on the Pilot Diva. That is an exclamation point to be sure. And we're going to see that quick play of the game from Shadow Song. 2Kill has not had a great showing here on King's Row. They're going to run at them as aggressively as possible. And man, that has just been the storyline of this match so far. Pain Gaming very much in control of the series. 2-0 at the half.
I mean, you gotta feel for 2Kill. They have the goats, and all Pain has to do is go back to spawn, which is 5 meters away, and switch to a counter, which they had the counter set up perfectly with a Hanzo and a Fair. That's what you need to counter the goats. And I mean, 2Kill, they were chasing after the tanks, trying to stay after out of line of fire. But when it came to the late fights, you could tell they didn't really know where to rotate to. They were getting pressured from all angles. But Pain Gaming up 2-0 in the half. 2Kill, can they respond? Keep in mind, folks, it's winner goes on the playoffs, loser stays home and watches, which I think you're still playing playoffs at home, but you're playing versus you're watching. But we got a desk ready for some big IQ analysis. Boop, Ham, and Scribe, take it away.
I'm going to say that we have some, I think we have high IQ analysis, but moderate IQ people here.
Yeah,
What do
we're
you
definitely aiming up.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, exactly. You know, it's Sisyphus's hill, right? You go up to the top and then you press Q for Genji Blade and you just go all the way back down.
I
in
would
terms of
say
IQ points.
Barrage potentially.
Okay, yeah.
We saw a little bit of
Yeah.
that in King's Row, but
Well, anyway, we have a lot to talk about because I'm actually impressed and both frustrated by 2Kill. And I think that we can all say that because we're seeing moments of brilliance from them. And there's just some discombobulation that if certain moments just went a tad bit differently, we might have a different scoreline here, particularly on King's Row. But we're going to talk about King's Row second because we got Lijiang Tower, which was a 2-1 in the favor of Pain. But Scribe, I feel like that's actually a little bit deceiving. Even though it was 3 rounds, it didn't feel very close.
Yeah, it's kind of almost one of those things where like you get lucky with a few fights, you're able to gain that percentage, and maybe let's say we had another fight afterwards, maybe Pain just actually wins the second map and we don't go all 3. But what I do like is how Pain is really setting up. They understand they have like a very good I would say they have a very good chance of winning the first fight, and they kind of play towards that. I really like their use of Killer on point, especially with dive tanks, right? Being able to control point more effectively, allowing their tanks to use their mobility to mainly jump onto enemy targets, disrupt, rather than having to jump back and protect. And they were able to do so much, but one person who really stood out to me on Garden was Debut, who was able to find a lot of open shots, and he continued that success all the way through Lijiang Tower. And that was one of the highlights for 2K. I feel like they have a lot of great DPS ability, and Spider Agony, despite playing offense, didn't look too shabby, actually.
Yeah, Ham, I think we were talking about it. Zarya maintained that energy really, really high. And, every time we saw it, it was over 80. I'd love to see what the average there was, because it's got to be, he already got the achievement, I'm sure. But I'm sure he got it again this time. But what are you feeling about Spider Agony? The undisputed leader of this team came back from, he retired. Now he's back, and he's trying to give his team a chance at the playoffs. But they are down 2-0 right now.
Yeah, his Zarya certainly stand out on King's Row. What we were missing a little bit on Lijiang, though, was going head-to-head against Fasty's D.Va. We saw that the prioritization was not quite there on the side of 2Kill. Fasty getting often in the face of the Pharah, keeping her out of the fight. And that's, a little bit of that nuanced decision-making that we haven't really seen from 2Kill. Even when Spider Agony was on that Zarya, playing really great. Bubble timing on point. You saw him going with the power of 1,000 suns, but when it came time to use that ultimate, one of the still most impactful ultimates in the entire game, timing a little bit off, oftentimes dropping it when they were down players, the location a little bit off occasionally. So, just needs this 2Kill team. Basically half of the roster is entirely new. They've been in the team, but they haven't played together. Raul, Prevail, Debut, Spider Agony on the off-tank role. So this is a team that just needs a little bit more time to gel. The foundations are there.
Well, I wonder if the choice is here because, hey, maybe we tried this out in scrims. This is our group of 6, because to try something new at this point in the game seems like an interesting decision to me, Ham.
I would agree. Scribe and I, we actually did talk a little bit about the choice to move Spider Agony onto off tank, though, and it could, there are probably reasons behind that. He's been with this team for quite some time. It's easier to integrate a veteran player into the off tank role than to, bring in a completely new person to try and fill that. It's a very you need to coordinate with your main tank, Xiaozu, which Spider Agony was doing really well. It was just unfortunate that they weren't quite able to overcome the aggression coming out from blanked on the name.
2Kill.
No, not 2Kill. From Pain. Pain definitely, paddling them a little bit with the ability to use Happy's speed boost to just flank them, kite them constantly, instead of even diving, the backline, they just go through the tanks who are standing there being like, what, caught off guard.
So, Scribe, one thing that I wanted to talk about was we all saw it. It was the end of King's Row. Pain had some good defense, but they couldn't put it together. They kept, I feel like, letting 2Kill back into the fight. I believe they had a good opportunity to hold. Fasty had a great self-destruct there at the end. And, of course, they ended up winning the map. But I think what I said was, this is the Pain that is 1-3. Right? This is how they got to 1-3, not a playoffs type of Pain. Can you kind of walk us through, kind of what was happening there at the end of King's Row, how discombobulated Pain looked and how they couldn't quite put it together?
Yeah, I think they had a good initial game plan here. I think Xiaosong was setting up for that flank that we all noticed when in the separate chat, and we were saying like, oh, he's going to go for the big flank. That's kind of the setup you really don't want to have mentally, right? It's saying like, oh, once we hit the shatter, we'll win this game. And that's, while that is a good mindset and that is a good win condition, what it does is it kind of forces you to play more aggressive, right? Even though the cart was far back, they pushed very early on. And the moment that Earthshatter doesn't really connect, and it's a little bit unlucky. It's like I think half of it was the Zarya. I think Spider Agony got the shield, and also I think Xiaozu managed to charge right out of range, and it was like more the middle of that animation, so he didn't really get stunned either. And the moment that kind of happened where he missed that big shatter, your Reinhardt's out of position. The rest of the team is kind of just trying to like flutter around, trying to figure out like, okay, who do we kill next, right? You just got charged into a wall, and that's kind of like where stuff really starts falling apart. 2K was able to kind of propel their lead. We did see Xiaozu kind of like leap forward to get a great Earth Shatter catching Leviathan as well. And from that point onwards, overtime spawns are really what takes it away.
So, Ham, I'm sure we talked about it at length when we saw it, right? But something that I saw, it's kind of like we actually did this in a game yesterday. We were like, we got it, we won. And then
Yep.
there was a Genji still touching the payload, and they ended up coming back and winning. So, it's just kind of like that kind of mentality of they might have just thought that they secured it a little earlier than they actually did, or maybe. What do you think of it? What's your read?
South America is not over till it's over, man. 2Kill, the kind of lack of polish, the rough edges that we see is from a team that's, still figuring out how best to work together. But when we did see that kind of confusing head scratching, timing of ultimates, flanking shatters that didn't work out from Pain, it seemed to be that perhaps potentially they were getting a little bit too comfortable. There was another point right before point B when Pain was trying to hold. They overlapped both support ultimates, pop trans, and immediately popped sound barrier. Once the trans wasn't enough, they had already lost a man. They invested the sound barrier as well. If potentially they had used the speed boost to disengage, instead they would have had another recontest before point B, but instead they tried to hold right there with a man disadvantage. It didn't quite work out. This is a team that seems to be marked by this kind of aggression, but that can come back to bite you. So 2Kill moving forward, that's definitely something that you can take to your advantage. Play high tempo. When they do make that positional error, when Shadow Song goes for play of the game, but instead catches absolutely nothing, try and rebound back and see if you can make turn a sour moment into a sweet one.
You can't do that twice.
It's twice. Come on, man. I commit. If I commit, I go 100%.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
But so Scribe, we don't have a lot of time, but one thing I definitely wanted you to talk about is what you said Happy was bringing to the table, right? You don't have you have like 30 seconds to talk about it, but what is the Lucio doing to help Pain reach the end here and put them up 2-0?
Lucio allows you to chase down fights, end them a lot more cohesively, but also allows you to kind of bring the fight back, right? We saw a lot of great scouting with Lucio, a lot of great movement. So big tanks like Zarya, high charge Zarya, and even D.Va, they have a lot more flexibility. You don't have to burn a lot of mobility to get from point to point. I like the Lucio in terms of giving you a better idea, allowing you more scouting, more mobility in general across the map, and that gives you a lot more information to work off of.
Honestly, 2Kill could definitely work with a little bit more Lucio. Still remember Rank getting that 3K at the end of King's Row. Put him on Lucio.
Well, someone that I know gets a ton of 3Ks on Lucio, and actually a lot on Moira, is Lemon. LaFon is a great player as well, just saying. But I don't have any specific information. LaFon, tell me a little bit more about who gets you your 3 kills in your games. Lemon and LaFon, take it away.
Well, there's a Heartstuck Kiwi or Heartstuck Silver Kiwi here, and then I got your Master LaFon. I mean,
it's been a rough season, so we're gonna say that my main hasn't placed yet.
Okay, yeah, that's what we are.
I think to answer the question though as to what I particularly play, it's a bit of everything actually. I enjoy the game, so it's a little bit of every single hero available. So that's gonna be kind of the expectation for me.
Well, speaking of expectations, let's go into Volskaya, our third map for the series. Pain Gaming up 2-0. This is a do or die for 2Kill. Can't drop this map. You can't make any mistakes, or you're going to stay home and watch instead of stay home and play for the big bucks going into playoffs. But the game has already started. LaFon, tell me about these comps.
I mean, we're going to Volskaya Industries, and everyone knows this assault map and how snowball heavy it can be, which works out. It is a winter theme. That said, we are going to be going with that sort of the dive-esque here. 2Kill with a full dive, and then the Brigitte right behind it to try and shut that down.
Go Killer going in for the kill. Can't finish off the Tracer. You would have loved that to do that before she recalled, but now getting focused out. But look at the peel from the D.Va. Unfortunately, the healing wasn't there, but Leviathan, double kill for him, and the defense looking so good for Pain Gaming.
I mean, here's the case. 2Kill. They're running True Dive, right? With a Mercy instead of the Lucio from yesteryear. She's been so powerful, of course. But then Pain just has Killer on the Brigitte, and what do you do? What do you do if you're Tracer? Killer actually hasn't been that impressive, I don't think. But again, Prevail has been shut out super, super hard. You just have to stun her, and then she has to play really passively. Her recall's on cooldown, and so 2Kill, they're going to have to change something up because they're running headfirst into a brick wall that shows no sign of breaking.
I do not want to put my head against a brick wall, and I don't think neither did 2Kill. The last time we've seen them on Volskaya, they actually tied against Predators and lost to Hephaestus. So not the greatest showing on Volskaya in their season, but hopefully they can make this a different fate. Leviathan changing Raul's direction right back to the spawn room.
Okay, this Dragon Blade is ill-advised. That is a real mistake, and they're not going to fight anything. You're down 2 to begin with, and this is something that this meta is so good at. It's that fights go from 0 to 100 immediately. And
It's press Q to win, right? I think that's what Debut
I
thought
mean-
was going on.
yeah, Debut thought he had something. They're gonna switch to goats here, which is probably why he Dragon Bladed. But Leviathan immediately ends the push with a headshot, and adventurous at best is the way I can describe that blade. And it's gonna be a reset here as they switch to a goats composition, that 3 tank, 3 support affair, and it's going to be another setup here defensively from Pain into it.
This is Goats is so good, but also almost an anti-dive. You got like a Brigida that can deal with it, and a lot of healing, the speed boost to get away from the dive as they start to establish themselves onto the point. A self-destruct though, going to get blocked. No, it's actually the shield bash that opens up that opportunity for Fasty. We've seen this on Kings Row, and they do it again on Volskaya.
Something here to kill. They're gonna stagger out Spider Agony, and he is definitely no. We already know what kind of pain he's in. It's going to be a reset here. Debut has. You can't have that shield bash not. You cannot have that shield bash on the Rhine. The Zarya bubble needs to be there, and it just isn't. And unfortunately for 2Kill, that puts them at the mercy of a self-destruct. And again, something Pain Gaming has done a really good job of throughout this series has been one ultimate to win a fight. And they just use the self-destruct, and now 60 seconds remaining, they are in a lot of danger of being full held here.
This is it's gonna be bad too, but at least Spider Agony, self-destruct, 5 ultimates on board for Pain Gaming. How are they going to coordinate this one? Nice crossfire from Pain Gaming already set up. Leviathan on the other end. A Primal Rage, he gets stunned a little bit. Shadow Song not having a fun time. He's trying to knock some people off the map. Leviathan, quick work of Spider Agony. And the self-destruct won't even get him back into mag. Even Wings, you've seen him in the kill feed time and time again. Young Jonak making work of this in 2Kill. I mean, at least they lost the fight quickly. 20 seconds left to make it again.
Oh my god, Leviathan, an absolute disgusting display there. Hits the shot on the Diva as she's coming in to try and burst him down, and then hits the headshot on her as she demechs with the self-destruct. That's an insane performance. And 2Kill now, they have nothing to work with. The Earth Shatter and the Coalescence, and that's about it.
Oh my god, 2Kill do manage to do it. Self-destruct at the back. Is there a shot? Okay, there's no stun, but you lost your main healer, especially when Rank had Coalescence. No Resurrect. Fasty with the double kill. Transcendence from Wings is pushing 2Kill into this tiny room. Prevail just trying to provide as much healing, never letting go of that flail. Pain Gaming, though, they've at least lost one. 2Kill can stall this one out, try and get reinforcements, and Zaozu now onto the Reinhardt. Prevail, though, is down. Only 2 people left of 2Kill. Overtime into effect. You cannot afford to lose anyone. Raul has to use the sound barrier to hit 3 people. Lots of sustain here. They can't get off the point. The overtime dwindled away so quickly there.
Shadow Song with a Primal Rage to end it out. Round 1 complete. It's a full hold. Volskaya Industries. Oh boy, that is not a good showing from 2Kill. Unfortunately for them, every fight they just didn't have an advantage, and at no point in time were they the better team here on Volskaya. And unfortunately for them, even with the pickoffs that they had, Pain Gaming able to rotate back in and just win fights out. They had the ultimate advantage the entire round long, and now Pain, they have an opportunity of 4 minutes to take a single third of the point. 2Kill unable to put any pressure whatsoever, and are very much out at this point as they are unable to win the series here. Even a draw, it's a 4-minute, would have to be a 4-minute draw, and they'd go down 2 to 0 with a fourth map. So Pain have cemented themselves as a playoff team here, and 2Kill, now you're playing for pride. It's just for pride at this point, and a chance to.
Come on, it's not impossible. Dreams come true. We're casting here, right? Anything can happen.
I mean, the dreams might come true, but the numbers don't lie. And in this case,
Oh, okay.
2Kill.
I will bet you 1 Bitcoin that 2Kill will win here.
That's a lot of money still, though.
Is it though? Bitcoin
Yeah.
has kind of gone down.
It's still a lot of money. It's still
Okay.
a lot of money.
Okay, 1 Bitcoin on the line between the 2 casters that somehow made it here. Miracles do happen. 2Kill have a miracle shot of making this defense work. It's do or die. We said it again. This is their last chance to make playoffs. If they lose this match, they're out. Pain Gaming coming out of the doors, still kind of huddling, figuring out what they're doing. Actually, still preparing to attack. They locked the door on me, but expecting Pain Gaming to pull out their snipers. This is what's been so good for them. 2Kill, though, now rocking at least 1 sniper. Debut had such a good start on Li Zhang. The question is, how will Prevail do?
Prevail. Oh boy, this is going to be an interesting showing because they are running the Widowmaker and Tracer, and it's going to be interesting in how this attack run goes into the Hanzo specifically of Pain. They are going to try and walk in, and the tanks are trying to find as much positioning as possible. It's been really a slow affair so far, though.
Well, slow and steady wins the race, especially when you got 3.5 minutes to finish that race. 33%. You only need to win one fight. There isn't really much room for 2Kill to work with, and Debut losing this Widow engagement would not be a good start. As you can see, he's being very careful, at least disengaging and not really wanting to challenge if it's not a winnable fight. And 2Kill, I mean, Prevail's being really aggressive for sort of the stakes that you're going into. Unfortunately, the Wings will take care of him there, and this will be the moment to engage here for Pain Gaming.
Pain Gaming now, they are in advantage. They're down 2. 2Kill rather is down 2. Valkyrie's going to be committed. The Wings in a different sort are going to be used here, and that's going to be it. 2Kill Gaming, they fall to a man, and that will be Pain Gaming taking the map, taking the series, and handing 2Kill a rather unglorious or inglorious situation going into next season.
Well, I guess I owe you 1 Bitcoin now. Apparently is a lot, so I kind of want to take that back. We didn't shake on it, so it doesn't count, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say I refuse that bet. That's about like $7,000.
You're refusing $8,000?
Yeah, well, I mean, not with a bet that was as sure God it concludes as that.
We promise, to be honest. So, is it really a real bet if you don't pinky promise and do the whole handshake? No?
Oh man,
I'm also broke, so this is not gonna work.
Yeah, that was a really tough map, but oh man, 2Kill. I want something from them here in this fourth map. Just anything, just a breath of life, please.
You want 2Kill to be 6 kills, because 2 kills, I mean, it wasn't really enough for them on that defense.
It was not. I think at most they got maybe 2 or 3 pickoffs throughout the entirety of the map, and I think perhaps one light at the end of the tunnel is there were actual fights in that map. There were 3 or 4 engagements, I think, through the thing. So it has at least that side of it. We're seeing something closer to Overwatch, but this has not been a good series for 2Kill, not in the slightest, and I
want to start with at least like the goats, right? And goats in theory sounds really great. Oh man, everyone's running it. All the grandmasters are running it. It must be a good comp. Just run it in ranked. You win games. No, when the other team has high ground control and you don't have access to the high ground because you're not running dive. This is how the goats failed. They pressured the point, but Leviathan had already picked off several people as the Widowmaker, and he was set up on the high ground. He was never really contested. All they could do was send a D.Va up there, and even then, Leviathan was still winning the one-on-one versus D.Va.
I mean, at that point in time, one of the problems also is that you send in a fight like that and your resources are all over the place. We talk about this a lot, and this is something that when we spectate some of the higher teams like BGH, like Isurus, like Predators, looking for Oregon, the other bracket as well, something we talk about a lot is resources and how you commit them in a certain team fight. And unfortunately, I think here in this game, and this is something both these teams have been kind of guilty of, is that resources have not been committed efficiently. 2Kill specifically hasn't committed resources in a singular manner at all, and Pain Gaming has not done a particularly great job of it either. I don't think it's not particularly fair to call out one team and not the other. It's been super odd. So part of the thing is when I talk about resources, I mean things like Matrix or boosters or healing or really just engagement time, and it's going to be a case where sure, you send your D.Va in, but she has no support. Leviathan's able to just kind of clean out by himself and really not feel any pressure. On the other side of it, your supports are caught out, your DPS really have no space to really work with. So across the map, it's a fundamental misunderstanding of how resources have to be committed. And I'm hoping here on this fourth map, which will be Rialto, it's going to be, sort of a situational, sort of a change in style from a fundamental level. It's too little too late as you're in your fourth map at the last match of the season. But hopefully there's something here for them to actually work on at least.
Something to work on. Well, I said miracles can happen. I mean, a miracle won't put you in playoffs now that you're down 0-3, but what you can make this fun. You can have one last hurrah. And I think the hurrah could be here for 2Kill. They had actually picked up this map, Rialto, against Hephaestus 3-1. So they've won this map before. I think they can do it against 2Kill or versus Pain Gaming.
Yeah, I mean, they have the thing about 2Kill too, right? Is like the bright spot for them has to be that they are taking maps off other teams. It's not like they've done nothing here in the season.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not I think at their best, they're a borderline team. So I want to see the best from them. They haven't shown that they were, you know, the team with the dominant advantage here. In fact, I think throughout the entire series so far, definitely the team with the most, that struggled the most in it between these two. So I think here, if we can see the 2-kill that we kind of saw versus Hephaestus perhaps, or, you know, some of the other maps that they've shown that they can take, maybe we'll see a more competitive Rialto, but Pain are definitely an advantage in every sense of the word.
It's kind of just unfortunate that on Volsky, like 2-kill started on attack, and then if they just got full held, then it's such an easier attack for Pain Gaming on the other side. Maybe we would have had a different result with the side switched, but now into game, here we go into Rialto, 2-kill on the attack to start. And at least they just have to push the payload. They don't actually have to cap a point. Maybe it'll be easier enough time to push this 400-pound cart going in and actually out the doors. Bit of last-minute swaps, but the Tracer Hanzo solo heal rank on the Mercy. Interesting choice here from 2-kill.
I think 2-kill Gaming I just want to highlight this strategy up because this is a really interesting look. They're running a Tracer instead of the Widowmaker, so no hit scan. They want to put a lot of backline pressure. So there's going to be a solo support continued and into the backline. Spider Agony trying to find that first kill.
Oh, he's taking their attention away, which is still very effective. And Pain Gaming running 2 supports. They're already going to be backing off with the Orisa shield. It's going to be between Xiaozu and a Shadow Song to keep those shields up. And up to the DPS of 2-kill. They have a lot more shield break running a Roadhog, Hanzo, and Tracer. But you can see Spider Agony way more committed to taking the attention away going into the backline. But he gets punished from Fasti there. So Pain Gaming are going to hold this fight.
And this is one of the problem with this composition. This is why you don't really see, you know, triple DPS with these DPS or triple or solo support with these particular heroes. It's that solo support, the one thing it struggles at is there's not a lot of healing available. And so you run a lot of tanky heroes or heroes that can play from range, like snipers. When you're trying to play a really aggressive style, there's no healing enough, and Pain Gaming just outlasts them with their much better implementation of the solo support. So this is a fundamental change in style, and I think Pain has the advantage stylistically.
And running fair on attack here is pretty difficult. The snipers can be so far away and so hidden. It's going to be so hard for Prevail to actually pressure the DPS at all. All he can do is pressure the shields. And Killer, all he has to do is click heads. Are you kidding me? Makes it look so easy, and you're never going to access Killer because he's that far away. I want to see Prevail switch to something that can actually access that backline.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to send Spider Agony in a much more aggressive flank, perhaps, or something along those lines, but look at the difference. Killer's going to have that infra sight. They don't have anything to work with 2-kill. Meanwhile, Pain Gaming are coming up on nearly all of their ultimates. So this is very much another ult economy situation. Look where Spider Agony is playing, all the way in the back of the map, and it's going to be a really far back lane.
And a defensive Dragon Strike already finds 1 kill. Spider Agony needs to just hit these clips. Oh no! Oh, he was just testing his knees, guys. He's got a bad knee. It wasn't what you thought it was, okay? So Pain Gaming looks like they've clicked a couple more heads. 2 kills, though, have responded. They got to resurrect. Debu's back into this one. Happy's about to top those numbers, too. Has a Valkyrie in the back pocket. It's starting to get a little bit hairy for Pain Gaming. It might be the time for a Supercharger to come out. Valkyrie not invested quite yet, because 2-kill can't sustain themselves with only rank as healer.
I think Wings meant exactly what he did. The knees were totally fine. Unfortunately for 2-kill, if you don't want that to be the case, you just got to be better. Pain Gaming has been the better team, and it showed up. That last fight, Wings took the 2v1 and won it easily, and then they're able to just snowball off that pick. Again, Pain Gaming, positional advantage, stylistic advantage, and they're win out that fight just by sheer numbers.
Okay, maybe Spider Agony will win this one if he actually sticks him with a pulse bomb, because you can't kick yourself out of a pulse bomb, realistically. Self-destruct sent from the defense, not going to find much. A halt could actually open up some dinks here from the 2-kill offense. As a whole hog, Spider Agony still trying to find the backline. What's the revenge on the Wings? Wings is like, haha, invincibility, brother. That's a transcendence. And he still wins that engagement. So 2-kill, really unlucky in how they're taking this approach.
And we've talked about Debu. They're going to take this point here, and that's off the back of a brilliant Hanzo play from Debu. He does a great job. He comes in, finds about 4 kills by himself. And that's going to be the point now, likely unlocked. Yeah, they do capture point A, so it is going to be now to the street phase. No full hold here today. And Pain Gaming now. It's they're going to try and set up a defensive look, but already Prevail trying to find that barrage situation for themselves.
And Bear will be a lot stronger here. He had a hard time. I mean, we haven't seen a barrage from him this entire game. but maybe in this archway, he can get a nice angle, have a lot more support thanks to the walls, because the double sniper has not been treating him well. Oh, the halt almost brings him right in the middle of a dragon strike. No kills, actually. Leviathan decides to jump into it, playing hopscotch with the dragon. It's not going to work out, but 2kill. Move the payload forward. It doesn't look like it. It's actually contested from Fasty somehow, giving the mech like groceries, feeding the other team some more ultimates, as 2kill now have won this one and will move forward.
That would actually be an interesting game mode, jump rope or skipping rope with the Hanzo
They
Dragons.
do it with the Mercy thing, right?
I mean, yeah, but like Dragon's
But with
so
a dragon,
much more.
except you die if you lose.
Exactly, so much more exciting. So much more exciting. It's the thrill of the death, you know? Unbelievable. Pain Gaming, Killer not really finding the I guess he tried to play it and he just missed. He just missed. Taboo's gonna pick up a pick here, and they're gonna try and walk in with the positional advantage. No Mercy available.
Oh, where's the front line? There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Shadow
2kill.
Sagas are going at point.
2kill was kind of figuring themselves out. You got the DPS pushing more forward than the tanks are. It's not always a good look. As now a barrage from Prevail finds a double kill, almost triple kill though. Pretty nice. And 2kill might actually finish the map here.
They do get second point. I'm not gonna go that far just yet.
Oh, come
2
on.
minutes 50 seconds. Hey, cast a curse is a thing. I want them
Miracles
to actually.
happen.
I want them to actually complete the map. So I don't want to cast a
2
curse. then
Bitcoins
Visor.
on the line.
I have
Okay,
even
no,
less.
no,
than that.
I'm too broke for that. I was too broke for 1. I can't go for 2.
Pain Gaming now. Ultimates available. They do have both support ultimates and tank ultimates are coming up too. 2kill though. Now finally starting to build their own occult economy. So this is being decent showing from them.
Oh, right past the Orisa shield. Dragon Strike to respond, seals off that lane, but Pain Gaming are happy to sit back and wait for this payload to approach because point C, so easy to defend. 2kill are gonna need every member alive. With 2 minutes left, they don't have a lot of time to work with. Transcendence, used from Wings. This will push Pain Gaming towards the finishing blow, and now only Rank remains, and no Diva passive for him. He's gonna get finished off.
Spider Agony gonna fly away. Does he get the DMAC? Not quite, actually.
Oh,
Survives, and that will find a little bit of healing for Rank to get that Valkyrie back. So, nice. You
Nice?
know, yeah.
Question.
I'm always happy when a diva gets out with the mech. You know, no stagger here.
Yeah, I was gonna shake my head at Wings. Come on, man. If you can finish off a Tracer, you can finish off a 3 times as large as person as a diva.
I'll take your word for it. I'll take your word for it.
We're going
That's
in. Minute and a half, though. 2kill. Have at least a Transcendence to work with, but nothing else. I mean, full sail to Goats. It's pretty good. Not really any high ground to worry about, so this might actually work. But they have to keep an eye on their flank. And an Earth Shatter drops from Shadow Song to Transcendence, though, from Raoul. Will keep them up. But
I mean,
now they're getting trapped inside these doorways. It's kind of tough.
Raoul does get taken down, so they lose some of that healing. Again, they're going to switch rank to the Moira and Raoul to the Lucio. They want to go actually to Goats now properly, most likely. Yeah, there it is. But this is last fight situation. Spider Agony caught out this time, likely unable to get away with a mech, maybe. Debut will go down, so that is going to be a reset here. And Spider Agony, yeah, there's the DMAC.
Yikes.
Finally, they will have this last fight commencing. Down time, Spider Agony. Yeah, quick reset there. Thank you, the lovely watery.
Couldn't you just go back into the spawn room and change? Wouldn't that be
Yeah,
quicker?
but Spider Egg is really close to that self-destruct, which is why they don't want to do that. So.
Ah, yes, you throw out that ultimate. Big brain, big brain. But 2kill, still on the Goats. But the issue is Brigitte versus Brigitte. Killer is way more proactive at disabling Xiaozu. And now with this Earth Shatter, it's going to be a huge play for 2kill to pull this off. You need that 6-man Shatter coming in. Self-destruct towards the back might stall this one out. As a ton of ultimates, but it's Fasty with the triple kill. The Transcendence now to keep Pain Gaming up throughout the later stages of this fight. 2kill. Couple seconds remaining. Anyone on the payload? No, it's a Baby Diva having some fun in point C. And Pain Gaming hold this defense. 2kill. I jinxed it. It's the cast a curse. They're not going to finish Rialto.
Tank's coming back. It's a huge Earth Shatter. It doesn't matter. Oh, 2kill. Why? Fasty gets a 3K with that self-destruct on people that had shields available to them. I saw Prevail look at the self-destruct and just not put shield up. I don't have words.
I
No,
mean,
don't have
that's
words.
accepting your fate, okay? It's accepting that you're gonna die and go back to the spawn room. I do it a lot as like Diva without shift, Tracers without recall. You just stare at it. It's like the sun. If you look too close, you.
But
Go
you're a
blind.
Brigitte. You have a shield. It's full HP.
It's like a cardboard. Come on, Lafon.
Oh, okay. You're right.
Realistically, it would not survive a nuke. The thing's
You're
made out
right.
of
You're right.
paper mache.
That said, neither do lampposts, and somehow that happens. So there is that.
Yeah,
Although
you know
maybe
what?
not
That is
necessarily on
true.
Rialto. I do remember, what was it, last week, that there was an attempt to stand behind a lamppost and it just didn't work.
Yes, I called that the player was like really good. And it's like surprising that Widowmaker's like still like skinny enough to like go behind, and then a nuke won't absolutely melt your face off from behind a post.
Yeah, I mean, Overwatch has some idiosyncrasies, and nukes going through lampposts or not going through lampposts, as the case may be, is one of them. Spider Agony. Oh yeah, there we go. Just a quick suicide pact from the players to put
Nice.
them.
That's true
things-
friendship right there. Are
I
you
mean-
really friends if you don't do a blood pack?
I mean, I'm going to disagree with that one in its entirety. That is
Oh.
not a thing people should do.
You don't have a lot of friends.
Ouch! Ow!
I'm your friend. It's okay, right?
Let's
Well,
go. Let's
we'll
go.
have to exchange blood after, but
In game only. In game only.
Okay, only game blood allowed into this one.
I think they're actually they're not gonna play the Doomfist. They're gonna play the Hanzo Sniper. So there's gonna be the double sniper comp. Again, this is a comp that is a little bit more effective. They're gonna run double supports. No Roadhog here, as Raul wants to play that Zen. On Pay Gaming's attack run, they're gonna be playing something similar. Though no Mercy. There is the Mercy. That's what I like to see. Mercy jail for Happy, and they're going to set the attack run. Now 4 minutes starting. They have to capture 2.5 points to win themselves a 4-0 and increase their map differential. Pain Gaming, the advantage is in their court.
Only running one healer though. The attack, I mean, really has to protect Happy here, but they have tons of more shield break to go after Xiaozu. Leviathan, a little sneaky bugger, going for the crossfire through this hallway here, not finding a lot of shots, but Sonic Arrow sort of helping where the defensive positioning is. Even Wings, it's like, nah. Hunting for some diva, not gonna find it.
Wings has been on a perma flank this entire game, even playing Zen, so I'm not surprised. Leviathan with that first pick off, and that fight will commence. Oh boy, 2 kills for Leviathan. Taboo will pick up 1, but it will not be enough, likely speaking. 2 kills, slowly setting up here, trying to get another defensive run for themselves.
2 kills, yeah, for Pain Gaming actually. And they'll be moving this payload forward. 2 kill though, could establish themselves and really have a nice hold. This is where you'd love to stop the payload. Leviathan, he's gonna get this kill. Debut, oh no! Well, I mean, it's kind of unfair. There's a Storm Bow, it's kind of a lot of damage close range, but Pain Gaming still have 1 shot here to push this payload to point A. It's not over yet for 2 kill. They have a Valkyrie about to be online here from Rank. He's gonna pop that right away. Does he have enough members to support? As a Dragon Strike comes out from Leviathan, I don't see it. I think Spider Agony might have eaten it.
I think it did get you. In fact, his Spider Agony has gonna send the self-destruct as well. It's not gonna find anything as Prevail gets a headshot with the Sonic. There's the hook.
Oh.
There's the kill. Transcendence is committed. And they're finally pulling ultimates out, even if they are losing the fight ever so slowly.
Chuka's actually holding this defense. I mean, or at least they're taking a lot of time off the clock. The thing is, Leviathan has been hitting his shots nonstop. He's going on these angles, and no one has any idea where he's coming from. And Debut is just really struggling right now. Like, he had such a good performance on Lijiang, but when you got Leviathan, who's so bloodthirsty, it's hard to make anything happen.
Oh, another headshot.
Oh.
Counter headshot there. Prevail coming out on top in that engagement, but the Mercy had already gone down, so it is irrelevant. And they're going to capture point A regardless, so they put themselves now to second phase, and there will be no full hold here either. So back-to-back point A captures. I love it. Love to see it. Rialto remains a mystery here. The hook will find one.
Well, the Dragon Strike. Nice peel for Spider Agony. Still loses the mech, though. Things you hate to see, that. And Pain Gaming low will still move forward, and this time with the lead of their Blue Eyes White Dragon being summoned on the field. Let's see how many sacrifices it will get. At least finds the enemy Mercy, and that's still a big kill. Raul's not gonna have a Transcendence to make up for it. And Pain Gaming have all the kills they need to start pushing this payload past the archway. Kind of acts like a choke, like King's Row, as Pain Gaming continue to roll these kills 4 and 2 kill, are just trying to go for a full reset.
Yeah, point. That was a spam kill there. There was a really... the cart isn't moving right now as the Resurrect comes through, so they finally get it. But both Widowmakers resurrected right back up, and both Infrasites committed.
Oh, self-destruct, it goes right behind the Arista shield, and it's halted! Gets the triple kill! Fasty has been hitting these time and time again. Call him a young Poco, or just put him in the Overwatch League, whichever one you prefer. Because Pain Gaming, on the back of just 1 ultimate, win these fights so easily.
that shield, it's so static, and this is one of the things that Orisa doesn't do well, is that once that shield goes down, you have an opportunity to put themselves in a place where you get that self-destruct behind the shield, and the halt prevents them from walking away. So a great combination there. And Fasty, the beneficiary in the kill feed, but the halt, the MVP. It is going to be Pain Gaming now nearly at the end, and 4 minutes remaining still.
It's going to be big from Spider Agony. He waited for the halt. Or sorry, from the shield to go down, gets a supercharger, takes away a lot of the damage here, as only this is the last fight that Pain Gaming have to win. 2 kill, have 4 minutes to burn if they want to take this map on Rialto and not have the 0 on the board. Prevail uses the Dragon Strike just to ward off the supports, and 2 kill at least live to fight another day.
I mean, a zoning dragon is actually a thing, and I don't want to hear it from anyone who disagrees. That one was a bit of a zoning dragon, and an intentional one too. If it gets damage, it's great, but that one is, as you mentioned, it zones the support out. They get the kills, and they hold for the moment. Again, though, that's 3 minutes and a half left on the clock, and Pain Gaming are starting to bank some ultimate. Shadowsong going to switch to the Reinhardt here, as they find themselves in a position with which to work with the self-destruct. And Pain Gaming now, some time left. The halt and hook combo, not there.
A double sniper from the defense, and Debu already finding a first pick on the wings should not get resurrected because there's no mercy on the board. So Pain Gaming will have to wait this one out, but Fasty has another self-destruct. And this is what wins fights for Pain Gaming. Only one last fight, and 3 minutes remain.
This is, again, every fight now his last fight territory in this series. It's going to be really awkward showing. 2 kill. They have some ultimates coming online, though. They have the supercharge. They have the whole hog. They will have the...
Oh, self-destruct. There it goes into the back. And oh, it still finds a double kill. Mainly, you've got that pick on the Mercy. You will take that twice on Saturdays, 3 times on Sundays, and you'll keep this one going. Pain Gaming have gotten all the kills they need. Only Raul is left on the Roadhog, and actually a sneaky Orisa towards the back. Some desperate picks coming out from 2 kill to stall this one out, but it's the hammer of Shadowsong they're about to meet. Pain Gaming meters away to make this a 4-0 victory and send them into playoffs with a 3rd seed.
And Pain Gaming, they put themselves up 4-0. They take the series 4-0 in convincing fashion. We get to see Fasty on the play of the game. That D.Va self-destruct so good. And this is that halt combo we mentioned earlier. Just sending it right back in.
Look at this halt, though. Wait towards the very end. Oh, it's not the halt one, but it's still a 6 self-destruct. They've been coordinating those so well with the halts and the Orisa shields. That's what kind of sucks with dealing with an Orisa shield, is when those self-destructs come through, you either have to go past the shield or beg for your life. And that's kind of what happened. A lot of the times, Fasty pressed Q. But 4-0 for Pain Gaming. I mean, did you think 2 kill at least had a chance to take Rialto, maybe Volskaya?
Oh, man. Volskaya, no. Volskaya, it's really tough. It's a full hold, and you lose in first fight. You can't call that a chance at all. I think their best chance was Rialto. They did have a better showing, though it's not the greatest. I mean, Pain Gaming was the better team here today throughout all 4 maps.
I do at least want to congratulate 2kill. They changed up their roster. They're changing things that don't work. They tried to go into this one fresh. Not fresh enough, because Pain Gaming are about to bring the Pain to playoffs in 3rd seed. They went from being in a relegation spot to now moving on to, I mean, play for the big bucks. And now we're going to send it over to the desk. Boop, Ham, and Scribe. Tell me how you felt there.
I felt pretty great for Pain at Gaming there. And, you know, unfortunate about 2kill. Like you said, Lebin, they definitely showed us some respite there, where, you know, they had moments, they had their moments, but they couldn't put their moments together for a victory as they get swept by Pain Gaming 4-0. And yes, our Group B playoff teams are locked in. And I'm going to give you the math as to why. So because Pain 4-0'd, their map differential is 11-10. Predators currently is sitting at 6-9-1. So even if they sweep Black Dragons, their map differential will be lower, but they will have a better, they will actually have a better record. So Predators wants to be the 3rd seed. They have to beat Black Dragons, but that is going to be a tough call. We'll talk more about that next week. Most likely Pain will be the 3rd seed based on what we've seen already, but in the end, Pain is going to sweep. So I definitely want to talk about Volskaya because 2kill looked arguably the weakest here, getting held on A. Can you walk us through, Ham, why that happened and what adjustments should have been made?
unfortunately, Pain just not playing to their strengths, not only not really able to kind of enable their DPS players in their best heroes, but maybe mind gaming themselves in terms of hero composition. We saw Prevail on the Tracer. We've seen extremely successful Tracers in the past in a meta that hasn't been favoring her. Klaus in the series that Boop and I last cast, destroying the backline. Unfortunately, not every Tracer can one clip a Zenyatta, and that's fine. But best part about her kit is the threat of the one clip, right? The panicked calls where you're like, there's a Tracer on me, there's a Tracer on me, right? That's the kind of fear that 2Kill was attempting to put in the hearts of Pain. But unfortunately, Pain Gaming, they know their strengths, and there was absolutely no panic. There's a Tracer in your backline, fine, we'll just pivot. It's a free Tracer kill for us rather than a threat to our Zenyatta. And unfortunately, Prevail and Debut both not really able to just mechanically step up to make themselves, the predators that they needed to be.
The double point at the camera. You're proud of something when you get the double guns at the camera.
Yeah.
So Scribe, my question to you is for 2Kill as well. Are these losses a lack of codependency in the team? Is it because they were new? Is it just individual team comps, forcing comps that you might not practice? Or does it kind of come down to some of the individual ability of the players?
Yeah, so I would say a big part here is a little bit about the new team coming together and a little bit of that shakiness, right? I think that was most so present on Volskaya Industries because the way Pain was playing was very deliberate, right? Even though we did see the Tracer get into the back line, get a back angle on Zen, that Zen is going to be very easily pocketed, right? And they're playing a double sniper composition that's looking to generate picks. So that's a perfect formula for Pain to kind of just sit back and say, like, look, let's just try to get our shots in. Kill her, try to grapple as much as you can. We'll protect you. We'll make sure no one will be able to flank. But this is the issue here. 2Kill was just so unsteady. When you're a new team and you're looking at someone else just sitting there waiting to get picks, you start panicking a little bit. You're just saying, oh, maybe we should engage. Maybe we should catch them off guard because you're not really sure how to disrupt the backline sniper threats. But the moment you start pushing in, you start recognizing Pain is totally prepared for this. They know that they can overwhelm you. And more importantly, the moment the tank line commits, all of a sudden, all that backline protection that you had, all those DPS from afar, for example, debuted or trying to get picks in the backline, he no longer has those angles. He no longer has his protection. So for me, it was a lot about 2Kill, not being super steady, not being super familiar with the landscape and how they needed to play.
So this is for both of you, actually. We're going to keep talking about 2Kill as they enter trials. They're going to try to get their way, claw their way back into Contenders proper. So did you see anybody today, or maybe in the past games from 2Kill, that you believe you can make your team route? So you're the manager, you're building 2Kill back. What's the guy that you're saying, hey, we're going to put all of our resources into him. He's going to wear the backpack. This is how we're going to win. So Scribe, why don't you go first?
I mean, I already know who's wearing the backpack here. You have to build around Debut, and it's kind of one of those things that you kind of saw what he was able to do. On Rialto, he was very strong when he was able to find openings, and he was playing a very aggressive Hanzo. He was looking for picks, and he was the one who's really crafting those great matchups and able to take those fights. He consistently on Volskaya was also doing the same thing. We saw him when he was looking down the sides at Leviton, right? Being able to just negate his effect temporarily, and he has the right idea to the entire thing. The issue for me is kind of when they went to GOATs, he had to switch off. He needs to be a lot greedier, and I want him to see him play more of that carry role.
Yeah, I would agree. Debut is definitely a bright spot on the 2Kill team. The turning point when they were looking like they would be full held on Rialto was Debut getting into the back line, throwing in those arrows into the back of the Orisa head, wearing down those tanks, as well as finding the support line. So he's certainly somebody that you would build a team around. Prevail also putting on a fair game when he had resources. He was able to get something done, but Debut is certainly the standout player for me.
So that is all for our second game today. We have another hype matchup coming at you next, which is going to be Black Dragons versus Predators Esports. So the reason why this one matters is this isn't a game to avoid Brazil Gaming House in the first round of the playoffs. Predators, if you win, you're third. You're good to go. But if you lose, yeah, you made the playoffs. Congratulations. But you're also going to be seeing Brazil Gaming House into the first round. And I know nobody wants to do that, but how hype would it be for a Pain BGH first round playoff match for South America Contenders. But we're going to have to see what happens there next. As Ham and I will be bringing you the cast. We're going to have a little bit of a new desk. Thank you guys all for watching. Once again, we are Broadcast.gg. We are a community of esports professionals, semi-professionals, and amateurs. So please follow us at twitter.com, Broadcast.gg. Got to spell it out. And we'll get to talking. You're going to make some friends, and you'll learn a lot of the behind the scenes things that go into an esports production. So that is all for us right now. We'll be back in about 5 to 10 minutes with Black Dragons versus Predators Esports. See you guys soon.